Good afternoon. Video number 2. This one's a little bit more serious, however. There's a gunman at large right now over in the Clarkston, Michigan area. They've closed schools. He's believed to be hiding in the woods someplace. He was a wrestling coach, I believe. So he worked for the schools. I'm sure he had another job as well, but he had this man had chosen to shoot his ex-girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. So that's what he had done, and now he's on the run. And it was serious enough where they closed the schools out there, and police are everywhere looking for this person. So I don't have any other information other than that. But this is a story and a thing that we've seen over and over again, over and over again all over the place, right? And then there are people, because this is local for me, there are people on, social media and different things who will say, like, well, I know that person, or I graduated with that person, or that person coached, somebody I know, or my kid, or, and it's like, yeah, like nobody... They're not coming on to social media saying, oh yeah, that guy was crazy, of course he's doing this, or yeah, that guy's been in and out of prison, of course he's out there, with a gunman at large. Like, that's no surprise. I mean, sometimes that is the case, but in this case that's not, right? This I don't know his background. I'm sure they'll dig things out, but this person was a seemingly normal person. I mean, we assume if he's working for the schools, he passed a criminal background check. So we know that much to be true, so that he has passed a criminal background check in order to be working at the school he's working in. All right. So this is not somebody with a whole host of violent crimes, felonies, domestic violence, whatever. All right. This was a normal or seemingly normal person who made a decision, okay? Now, before I get into that, this should allude to the reason and need for protection, okay? Meaning protecting yourself, all right? There is nobody else that is responsible for protecting you except you. We pack together as a society to, leverage the police and the community so that we can protect those who might be weaker from those who might take from somebody who's weaker. But the reality is the police are usually never the first responders or the first people on the scenes. It's always the victim. And so if someone's trying to victimize you, you might have a very long wait. Even if it's only 5 minutes, it can be the longest 5 minutes of your life for any kind of help to arrive, if help is even arriving at all. So having self-defense training, carrying a firearm, having firearms training, these are things that should be or need to be thought about as a priority. But that's not the point of the video, so I don't want to get into some discussion about that. Let's talk more about that one decision. So people have a lot of things going on, and a lot of times, your mindset can bring you into a really negative place. Got a lot of friends with PTSD issues, and they know what that means. Or your mindset can bring you into a very positive, success-driven place. But, a lot of times, depending on your mindset, how things are going, you're one decision away from the rest of your life. Had this guy have made that one decision, that decision to not, go over, and who knows how it went down. I mean, sometimes it's an escalation. Did he go over with the intent of shooting them? Or did he go over to talk to her and things escalated? I mean, we don't know yet. But the point is, at the moment that he decided to point a firearm at his ex-girlfriend and the new boyfriend and fire, he just changed the rest of his life. All right? A person who probably had potential, well, we know he had a lot more potential to do more than just shooting an ex. And we will be talking a lot about, relationships and, male-female interaction on this page, on my podcast, and different things. And that's what a lot of the coaching is designed to help guys with. You should never, 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 never let any person have such emotional control over you and influence over you that you would lose yourself and make that decision that will ruin the rest of your life. I mean, you need to work on the value that you provide to the world. You know, I would be devastated if I lost certain people in my life or if I was betrayed by certain people. However, you know, and I might be pushed to do something crazy. We all could be pushed that way. But I'm not going to make that one decision that's going to ruin my life when I have too much value to offer everybody else and offer the world. So you got to find that value, you know, and you got to look for that one decision that's going to bring you success. You know, that one decision, that one meeting, that one phone call, that one, you know, and you don't ever know when that's going to come about, that one client that could change your life, whatever it may be, versus making that one bad decision that ends it for you, you know. And we're all, the biggest myth is that people who do stuff like this, that they're just these crazy people, and that all of everybody else, normal people, aren't like that. They're not violent. You know, this is just an anomaly. But the reality is every person is only one or two bad decisions away from being that person who's shooting an X. All right? We're not that far off. We're more alike with people who commit violent crimes than we are not alike. All right? So you got to remember that. I mean, I'm not talking complete psychopaths though, but I mean, they're very much unlike other human beings. But somebody who loses themselves and makes a bad decision and decides to do something violent like this, or decides to, whatever it may be, you know, I mean, sometimes it's not as extreme as shooting an X. Sometimes it's just, you know, who knows, you know, saying a terrible thing to a spouse or a child or whatever. But I mean, the point is, I mean, you know, we're all more alike than we are not alike. And none of you who are watching this video is immune to making that bad choice, that bad decision, or that violent decision. Even those of you who abhor violence and are anti-violent and all this kind of stuff, you're not that far off. You're not that much different, right? So the only thing that's going to prevent that is knowing the value that you provide to others, and knowing that by making such a bad choice and the consequences of that choice would prevent you from being that valuable person. So anyway, stay safe out there. Make that one choice and make that a good choice. All right. Talk to you later.